Howdy folks, it's One of a Nine here from One of a Nine TV, and today I am playing the Tier 8 Soviet Behemoth, the KV-5. As you can see, I am on the map Abbey in a very favorable matchup against mostly Tier 6s. There's a couple of Tier 8s that I have to worry about, but it's going to be a very good matchup for this tank, especially considering, it can only meet Tier 9s. This is about as good of a matchup as you can get. So, I don't want to push middle because this tank has no gun depression, and it's just not built for that kind of a play. And I don't want to push the river line because this thing is just too slow. And it does have a big weak point on the front that if there's, Scorpion G sitting in the back, he's just going to pepper me. So I've decided I'm going to push down the 1-2 line, which is a pretty common heavy tank push on this map. Let's go. So, I've got a KV-5, a Firefly, an AMX M4, and the SFV with me. I'm going to go up because I prefer that position to play that position than I do to play the south. The M6 tries to shoot me, and as is expected with a KV-5, it just kind of bounces off of me. I do get some assistance damage on the M6. And I start to go around the corner and realize, oh crap, there's a Type 59 right in front of me. And I try to push him, and then the Sturv pops out. And the Sturv player is firing gold, and he knows where to shoot clearly, because he immediately just peppers my R2-D2 on the front of the tank, and pens me. It's only 150, and I have nearly 2k HP in this thing. So I'm not really that worried about 150 health. But yeah, so I'm kind of stuck here because I don't really want to push 1-on-3. As you can see, there's also the VZ44. Just don't really want to push that. I start trying to poke out. I end up spotting the Sturv, proxy spotting him. And he comes out and he shoots me. But he makes a big mistake here. He decides to get greedy. And I track him. And evidently he didn't bring a repair kit, or he already used it. So I can just farm him, he can't shoot back. And it's an easy kill. And he was a decent player, but he made one mistake, and that cost him his tank. Now I did lose a little bit of health between the VZ shooting me and a couple of shots coming in from the Sturv. So I kind of am like, do I want to push this? Or am I going to try and reverse side scrape this? So I'm trying to, and I just can't get an angle on that Type 59. So I end up pushing a little bit further up, and I'm reverse side scraping because that little bump up you can see at the rear of the tank, that actually is a hitbox, and if you side scrape normally, the enemy team can just shoot that, and it's an easy pen because it's flat and it's not very thick. But I've decided, you know what, it's time to just push. I've seen the VZ has moved down, so I'm going to push this Type 59. Artie can't get me where I am, even though you hear the shell coming in. And this Type 59 player clearly doesn't know about the weak point on the front. And he gets shut down by my support in the AMX M4. Now I fire on the move on the AMX, get a little bit lucky there, and I'm ignoring the T71D8, and I ram the AMX for 300. And now I decide, okay, the VK, the odds of him actually successfully damaging me are really low. So I'm just going to bully him out of the way. And then I'm going to deal with the AMX 65. And now I'm just playing with my food at this point. So I can just literally push right into this guy. Don't need to worry about aiming my shots really, because, it's only a tier 6. And I'm in a tier 8 with a decent gun. Against tier 6 tanks, I should say. Not against tier 8s. But yeah, now basically, all I'm doing is just bullying this guy. He's bounced 4 or 5 shots in a row off of me. And he literally can't do anything about it. So now, this game is actually quite close. We're sitting on 3.2k damage. I've blocked 2.4k. Only assisted 700. But we're up 10-7 on kills, but we're actually down on HP. And we're about to lose the Firefly down in the south. And we don't really know where the enemies are. So I pushed here because, well, the KV-5 isn't going to be able to get back to base in time. And there we go. We lost the Firefly. It's just a Scorpion and another Firefly defending the base. So I say, alright, I'm going to push up here. We've got the VK mid, so we do have some control and some spotting, which really helps. But I'm going to push and I'm going to put myself on cap to put cap pressure on. I know I'm facing a Scorpion, so I reload HE because I will deal way more damage to a Scorpion with HE because all I have to do is shoot the gun shield and he will take stupid amounts of damage. So I try to position myself to where I think the Scorp's going to come from. And I actually was wrong. He was in the middle. I didn't expect him to be there because I was like, well, the VK would spot him if he was there. I try and blind fire, but I don't think there's actually any angle through the buildings there. And the enemy team makes a mistake here. They get off cap because I can't get back in time if they put 2 tanks on cap. So they've gotten off cap. And they get back on now, but they should have stayed on the whole time. And potentially gotten the Type 63 on with me. They didn't do that. And unfortunately, the Scorpion shuts down my wheeled vehicle friend. But now I know which way he's going to come from. What he really needs to do now is turn around and come back up the way where he was spotted originally. I put 1 into him, 330, it's actually a bit of a low roll, and I drive towards him expecting the ram because I know he's going to deal damage, and I make a big mistake here. I drove off the cap. I figured he might get the reset off, so I wanted to make sure I killed him. And I realized I'm not going to be able to ram him, he's fast enough reversing. So I should have just stayed on cap the whole time. This game would have been over because he bounced his shot. Now we've got 2 tanks on cap with the AMX M445, and their VK3002D is running past our artillery piece. So he's coming to try and reset. He's not stopping to kill the arty, he's going for the resets, which is the smart play. I wish this M4 would stop driving around so his camo would at least get up to somewhat of a reasonable amount. And he drives too close to where the enemy is going to come from. And he gets killed. So the Type 63 is in the middle, as you can see right there. And he sees me. And he somehow misses, but unfortunately he forces me to drive off cap and taking evasive action. So I do hit him with the second shot. And somehow he bounces a heat round off of me. But yeah, now I've got to get out of here. The VK3002D's got my side, which is a problem. And I put 1 shell into him. He tries to get me again, and our GW Panther comes in clutch and shuts him down. Now this game is pretty much a sure win, as long as I don't do something stupid like just sit on cap. So now I realize we've got 6 minutes, I've got to chase down this Type 63. I can't let him dictate where we fight, so I gotta fight him where he is right now. I gotta choose the engagement. I'm coming in, I've got a PCR loaded, so I hopefully would guarantee the pen, but I use my intuition to switch to HE once I see that he is on 4 hit points. And I know he's in there somewhere, I know he can't run away fast enough to get out. And now it's just a matter of trying to find him. And I see him right there. I don't have the angle, so I actually have to drive off the edge there to get the angle on him. But I do shut him down. And that brings me up to 5.1k damage in the KV-5 with 3.2k blocked. This tank is an absolute beast, and I absolutely love it. Alright, so now I don't have time to chase the arty, so we're going to head back to the base and try and cap it out. And there you can see, that's what I told the GW Panther. I can't chase him. I'm a KV-5, he's a GW Panther. He's just going to be able to run rings around me. So I just drive right back to the base. And Arty does what Arty does and decides to be a loser. and not try to at least force a draw, because he could have. He could have just blind fired us, and he drowns himself. So, typical arty scumbag drowning themselves. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. You've been epic. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see more of this, go and follow my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/oneof9tv. And anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Thanks and goodbye.